Hi, I'm Kenny Joya. Welcome to another one of my tutorials. In this video, I'm going to show you how to copy sends in Reaper. Now typically, what we use sends for is creating buses, headphone mixes, sending to hardware units, or creating effect sends and returns. In this video, I'm going to show you effect sends, but everything we're doing will apply to any sends in Reaper. I have some drums in front of me with a kick, snare, a pair of overheads, and a pair of rooms. Now typically, I'm going to add some reverb to these drums. And I would do it by using an effect send and a return. So I'd make a new track, name it drum reverb or drum verb for short. And then I would put a reverb on this track. And now to hear that reverb on the drums, we'd create a send. The easiest way to do that is to drag from here, say on the snare track, drop it onto the return. See how the cursor changes to a patch cable? Just drop it, and we have a send. And it starts off based on our defaults. So it's full up, and it's post fader. We could change it here to be pre-fader, pre-effects, and change the level. Now when working with drums, as we get the sound just perfect, I probably want to copy that send to the other drums. But I don't have to start all over again using the defaults, so copying that send is a lot quicker. So let's say this is perfect right here. It's post fader, the level's good, and all the options down here are correct. Audio from 1 and 2, going to audio 1 and 2. And in fact, we don't need to use MIDI, so let's turn this off. So this send is perfect for the snare. So let's copy it to the other drum tracks. And to do that, we're going to go to the routing matrix. Right over here, routing matrix. We could also open this up using Alt-R on the PC or Option-R on the Mac. Just choose this. It opens up this dialog where we can adjust our routing. All the tracks are over here, and where we can send them to are up here. So our snare track right now is being sent to the drum reverb right here. And we could see that send by clicking it. This is the send we just created. Again, we get it perfect, say about over here. We want to copy it to the other tracks. So for our kick track, if we just click right here, it creates a whole new send, but it's set to our default. So let's delete that, and instead, go to the snare send, click on it, but don't let go, and drag it to the kick. And it copies the exact same send to the kick track. Let's go into the drum reverb, and the settings are exactly the same. Post fader, this level, audio 1 and 2 to 1 and 2, and no MIDI. And we can do the same thing for the other drum tracks. Just grab here and pull it down for the overheads and the rooms. Now we have the same send on all the drums going to the drum reverb. And we can delete them by holding down Alt on the PC or Option on the Mac and just click them to delete them. But to copy them, just drag them from one to the other. This is also very useful for dealing with vocals. Let's open a vocal project. Now in this project, we have 4 vocal tracks, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want to use the same effects for all of them. So I'll make a new track, name it reverb. Let's make another one for delay. So now we want to add reverb and delay to all of these tracks. So once again, we could drag from here and drop it to the reverb, get the setting how we want it, say about here, post fader, we don't need the MIDI. And we'll do the same thing for a delay. Drag it to here, get the perfect level, we don't need the MIDI. Now we can go to the routing matrix, Alt-R on the PC, or Option-R on the Mac. And here are the vocals, and here are the effects, reverb and delay. So we already have the sends for vocal 1. go into our reverb, and go into our delay. So to copy it, just drag it. Go from here, drag it to this one, and this one, and this one. And for delay, do the same thing. Just click on it and drag it down to each vocal track. Now the sends for all these tracks are identical. For our reverb and our delay. And it'll work the same way in our mixer. Here are the vocal tracks, here are the returns. Let's clear these and start again. We can drag from here to here. For our reverb, adjust it to taste. Turn off the MIDI. Do the same thing for a delay. Drag it to here. Get that just perfect. Now we could duplicate that just by dragging right here and dropping it. Now the send is set exactly the same way. Reverb, no MIDI, post fader. And we can just drag it and drop it on each one. And just like that, we've copied our sends. So like I said earlier, this is going to work with any send. Whether it's a hardware send, setting up for a bus, headphone mixes, or as I showed you in this video, for effects sends and returns. Any send can be copied very quickly. So that's pretty much it. That's copying sends in Reaper. I hope you learned something, hope you can use it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.